Do you want to have the honor to clap?
Wow, that is action.
Action. So welcome everyone. Today I have a really special guest. Once again, we are receiving Marcus. So Marcus is working with Airwallex. We know each other for 5-6 years now. And I will be basically asking him questions about Airwallex, the technology, how it works, what makes them different from the competitor, and how we work together with Airwallex. We'll also see what is new, what's upcoming, and so I hope you'll have a lot of information from this podcast. So thanks, Marcus, for coming today.
Thank you, Laurent, for having me.
Can you first maybe introduce yourself a little bit? What you do in Airwallex? What is Airwallex? What is the business for those that are from another planet and never heard of you, or maybe just looking at opening a company, never heard of Airwallex? Makes sense, right?
Sure. So I'm Marcus. I look after the channel partnerships team at Airwallex Hong Kong, and my team actually focuses on looking after our partners, great partners like you, Laurent, and then we find ways to grow our businesses together. And quick word about Airwallex. So Airwallex is a fintech company founded in 2015 out of Melbourne, actually. And our mission is really to enable businesses of all sizes, including enterprises, to operate without borders, because nowadays more companies, they have suppliers, they have clients from all over the world. So it's really our goal to make it as convenient, as cheap as possible for these businesses to do cross-border business.
So what is your technology? Can you give us more details about your technology? What makes you different from the other financial solutions out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think to a lot of people who are not actual users of fintechs, it might seem the same to them, and it's only a matter of who offers the cheapest fees and the cheapest rates. But actually a closer inspection of the product itself will reveal a lot of key differentiators. So for example, a lot of our clients and partners, they choose Airwallex because of a few things. The first being our global account coverage. So with a traditional bank or with other fintechs, maybe they'll offer you an account in Hong Kong or 1 to 2 accounts in other locations, but with Airwallex, we actually offer now 12 locations. So you can imagine with one single business registration, whether it's in Hong Kong or some offshore jurisdictions, you can actually get access to accounts in 12 locations. So meaning if you have clients in the US, in the UK, for example, you can very quickly open an account based locally and then collect from your customers there. So that's one benefit of Airwallex. The second one would be our corporate cards. So our corporate cards actually allow for direct payments in 10 different currencies versus what the traditional banks and other competitors offer. Usually they offer USD and Hong Kong dollars, but that's about it. And the third thing would be our online payment processing, because nowadays there's a lot more businesses trying to collect digital payments from their customers. So with our payment processing, we actually offer a very big network of more than 160 payment methods.
So just to be clear, this is the payment gateway, similar to a Stripe, similar to a PayPal, where you can receive funds directly on the account, right?
That's right. So apart from credit cards...
just to be clear, if you want to open a company in Hong Kong and you want to work with a traditional bank, forget about getting a merchant account. I know really few people that got a merchant account with traditional bank. So you will have to work with PayPal, Stripe, or if you work with that can connect to Airwallex, by the way. Or if you want, you can also have the option to directly work with Airwallex.
Exactly.
So just to clarify, in case.
Absolutely. So we also offer a lot of local payment methods. Like Klarna, if our clients or merchants, they want to do business, they want to target consumers based in Europe, Klarna is a very popular payment method, and we also have Afterpay.
Klarna is the one that offer you a credit kind of. You collect. It's like the trade finance platform you mentioned before.
It's similar. It's called Buy Now Pay Later. So essentially allowing consumers to pay for their purchases in 3 installments or more. And it really helps merchants increase their conversion rates because customers, they don't have to make as big as a commitment to pay the full price. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, other thing on.
And the last thing would be we also get a lot of feedback about how user friendly and intuitive our UI is. because with, I'm sure, the bank that I'm using, they don't have the best app, but for Airwallex, it's really quite simple. Everything is on one dashboard on the web app, and we also have a mobile app support as well.
Actually, with all the benefits you mentioned, I was just thinking about that. It's because people look at fintech solution nowadays in Hong Kong as an alternative to traditional banking, because the banks has made it really difficult to open an account for small companies, especially if you come from overseas. You have to travel to Hong Kong. The screening is really annoying, and then the successful rate is pretty low. But actually, I was really surprised when I went to the partner event of Airwallex that you guys get this partner. It's not partnership. It's just I think you have a partnership with them now, but McLaren is also using your platform to get their payments.
Yes.
And so even big companies are using Airwallex nowadays. It's not just the solution of SMEs, right? They're also taking advantage of all these advantage you mentioned, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely. So we're not only working with the startups and SMEs, but also bigger corporates like McLaren, who's one of our partners. We also have actually an enterprise team that offers white label solutions to companies like Brex, which is a pretty reputable fintech in the US as well. Yes.
Okay, so now we talked about the technology, what makes you different from traditional financial service providers out there, banks, all the fintech. But we work together as partners. Like, what do you see as the main benefits for corporate service provider like myself and our clients to work with Airwallex?
So I think one thing that we have in common with corporate service providers like yourself, Mohan, is that we both want to provide a very seamless business setup experience for clients, especially for overseas clients. And with our solution, we really are able to give the clients the confidence to really follow through with the incorporation process and get their business set up in Hong Kong and maybe other parts of the world as well, because we offer remote and online account opening, and the whole process only takes a few days, around 3 days usually. And so this removes any doubt from the clients of, what happens after I set up a company in Hong Kong? Will it take like a full month to get access to a bank account so they can start doing their business?
Or would you even get one to start with?
Exactly.
Exactly. Like this on my side, I have to say, it has been a pleasure to work with you guys, especially recently.
Likewise.
At the beginning, not really, because I think your whole positioning was a bit weird not when you, but the guy before you, or even the guy before. Like the first person that approached me said, we want to do cross-border payment with China. I'm like, okay, fine, don't need it. It's like, so it was really Chinese focus. But I would say the last few years, when you started to work more with the SME market, you start to streamline the process, the onboarding, etc. This had been amazing for us corporate service provider, because we kind of get back to the old days where it was easy to set up, to get an account in just a few days. And like what we used to have with HSBC, you have not known this time, but like 10 years ago, the clients were coming in town in 2 days. We had a meeting with the bank, they get the account opened, like really high success rate. Nowadays with the bank, it's much more complicated. The fintech, they come and go. We had the needs, then all the others, and then some they even became competitors. No, we're not going to mention them, but if you look at us, we didn't appreciate that, guys. But here now we have a partner we can rely on. We have someone we can send clients to, and then the cool thing is that the clients don't have to travel as well anymore. So it's even better, I would say, than 10 years ago, because now we can do the whole process from Hong Kong. From overseas, so the clients can just send everything online, everything can do remote, the setup of the company, and then getting the bank account. So I think this is great, and for us it gives us more confidence to market Hong Kong more and get more customer, obviously. So that's, for me at least, as a corporate service provider, has been really fantastic partnership. Yes,
great to hear. And I think the best thing is that you also have the ability, and you're doing this now, you're helping your clients submit applications and take care of the whole process for them as a service. So clients, they can just sit back, relax, let you take care of everything, and then within a week or even less, they can start doing their business and transacting and receiving payments.
Yeah, that's the cool thing is that you guys are clear with us of what you want, what kind of clients you want, what kind of clients you don't want. We know what you are looking for. You know how we present it, how to present it to you, and then also we are submitted to the same rules nowadays. You know, because we have our license as well. So actually,
Yes.
it makes the whole process really seamless. Like it's not like when we submit to a bank and then they say yes or no, and we don't know why they say yes or why they said no. You know, we kind of guess because we know how KYC works, but it's like why they accept this client, they don't accept this one. You know, it's sometimes it's really weird. When with you guys, it's much more clear and straightforward. And when there's a rejection, we can actually call you and say why, you know, and then we can move forward. You know.
Yes.
So it's I really appreciate that. I think it's good for us. Yeah.
Yeah, and we also really appreciate the high quality clients that you send to us. I think the approval rate is around 96% for ATHENASIA's clients. So
96. So yeah,
which is actually very high.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we get the
Yes.
the
Appreciation
what is it
reward.
like a reward this year. So hopefully we get even a bigger one next year.
Yeah.
So okay, maybe we'll stop rubbing our back for a while now because it's getting maybe too much. You know, I like to show also like the good side. I mean, I like to show the good side of things, but also sometimes the bad side. So you know, in all honesty, you know, Airwallex works really well most of the time, but from time to time, yeah, there's some hiccups like most businesses. So one of the biggest issue our clients are facing with you guys is payments being blocked, like transfer being blocked or not received. Like how do you, what is the reason for that? You know, because people might be wondering if they watch this video, maybe they had an issue and they're like, oh yeah, that's talking about how great is Airwallex, but you know, I'm so pissed off because they blocked this important payment or something. Like why is this happening? Why is there some payment blockage? How to avoid them? And are you guys doing anything about it? Or
Yeah, so it's an issue faced by some clients, and it has to do with the way that Airwallex operate as a company. Because in the back end, we are actually working with traditional banks to facilitate the incoming of funds and also the payout of funds. And since we're working with such a big network of banks, we really have to maintain a high level of compliance and transaction monitoring to make sure that we have a healthy relationship with our banking partners. So sometimes it is a misunderstanding that fintechs, we have more lax rules when it comes to compliance, but it's actually not. So which is why one kind of common issue that our clients will come across is when they try to make payments to individuals or for personal purposes. Their payments get blocked, or we request additional information about these transactions. But most of the time, our clients, they're not really able to provide, the corresponding contracts or information about these transactions, simply because these transactions are supposed to be like personal purposes, or you're paying a friend, you're paying your family. But Airwallex is more about doing B2B transactions for business purposes. So sometimes these payments will get blocked.
Okay, cool. Now you mentioned about the individual payment, but I saw also some issues with business payment. Like, why would that happen with business?
Yeah, it usually happens to newly open accounts, because for new clients who just got onboarded, we don't really have a good enough idea of their transaction patterns, what kind of counterparties are they dealing with. So usually for their first few transactions, our team will request more information, such as contracts or information, invoices about the transaction. If clients are able to provide that in a timely manner, we'll always do our best to release these transactions right away. And as time goes on, and we have built a clearer understanding of our client's transaction pattern, usually we will be able to relax the kind of request for information on clients.
Okay, so I just think of something like so is there any way with the clients can prevent this kind of problems? Like, I'll just give you an example. Yeah, I had this client case recently. A guy is sourcing in China, selling perfume products in Africa. The volumes are quite high. And I proposed him to work with Airwallex. He said, but can they handle the kind of transaction I will have, because basically each transaction will be minimum 50,000 US dollar. But from the get-go, is there anything clients like that can do from the beginning to inform you that, okay, these are the transactions we are doing, you know, we are not doing mass corruption in Africa or something like that. We are just sending products there, so that's why the amount are so large, and that's why we are dealing with this kind of countries.
Yes, absolutely. So in cases like these, clients can actually send us all the information, contracts, and invoices, any information relating to these transactions to us prior to receiving or making these payments. And that's actually one of the benefits of having a partnership with Airwallex, like the one we have with ATHENASIA, is we have a dedicated onboarding team, and we have a dedicated team to look after your clients, so that your clients will actually have a contact point at Airwallex who they will be able to send these information and communicate with. So we can actually get these requests and checks on these transactions cleared as soon as possible.
Okay, good. Anything else you want to add on this aspect? Does it cover a bit like the benefits corporate service provider and clients can have working with you?
Yeah, I think that covers
good.
everything. Yeah.
So, one more thing, as I like to go and annoy you a little bit. We mentioned like the payment blocked. Another issue that comes up from time to time is the fact that some clients apply for merchant account and they don't get it. So maybe can you share a little bit what is the reason for that, or what you guys are looking for? Who could apply for this merchant account? Is it open for everyone? Is it restricted? Is there a restriction from industries or something like that? I know, can you give us some more details?
Yes, I can definitely share more information. So our merchant processing, or we call it the online processing service, it's not available to all businesses. So for example, if a business, they sell gift cards or those game codes, currently we are not able to support. But for most common e-commerce businesses, if you're selling clothing, or you're selling accessories, we can definitely support those without any issues. And the reason for rejection, it varies. So we actually put quite a lot of weight on the client's website to assess them, the quality of the website. Do they have all the shipping and privacy policy in place? Whether the items that they're selling are of satisfactory quality. So there are a variety of different factors that we take into account, but we always try to make a very deliberate and careful decision when accepting clients onto payment processing. So if a client, they have previously been working with other providers, what would be helpful for increasing the chances of success for the application would be to provide the previous records of their previous provider. That will allow us to really see what the dispute rate and also the chargeback rates are. So it might sound a bit technical, but these are important performance metrics that we take into consideration, because if a refund rate is high for a merchant, it suggests that there are a lot of clients not being happy with the service or the products that the client offers, which will actually have an impact on their ongoing relationship with us.
Yeah, because this will also have an impact for you with your relationship with Visa, for example.
Absolutely,
right?
exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So that's why it's just to not ruin it for everyone. If someone is getting too many refunds or things like that, you guys will say, look, we don't want to work with you anymore, or we don't want to accept you now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. I think that was a really informative interview. But okay, before we start, maybe is there anything interesting or new that you guys are coming up with for 2025? Because we are now like end of Feb 2025, so it's just beginning of the year. Like any interesting, exciting things coming up?
Yes, so Airwallex, our products and our services are constantly evolving. So for example, we recently just extended our coverage to businesses registered in Samoa, in Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Okay. So our coverage for businesses will only continue to expand. And we also are making some progress with our products, and we're launching products that matter to our clients. And we'll also be launching credit cards in Hong Kong very soon. This is something that our clients are very excited about.
So a proper credit card, not a debit card, right? Or...
Yes, so there will be a credit line.
Okay. So what, Visa, Master, or
Visa cards?
Okay.
Yes, and we're also expanding geographically as well. So we're eyeing Latin market. So recently we acquired a payments company in Mexico called MexPago. They are a reputable payments company there. And also we just acquired a payments institution license in Brazil. So we'll be everywhere, Airwallex.
Okay, the last question, Marcus. So thanks a lot for this, all this information. I think it's really useful for our audience. Now, one of the questions I have all the time is my money safe with Airwallex? Because people say, hey, it's not really a bank, it's a fintech. You guys work with a different license. You work with MSO license, not banking. So what would you tell those clients if they were here? Basically they are there on the other side of the screen. So
yeah. So usually we'll tell clients, which is also the truth, that we are licensed in all the jurisdictions that we operate in. So for example, in Hong Kong, we hold the MSO license, the money service operator license. In Singapore, we actually regulated by the MAS, the Monetary Authority of Singapore. And we also have a major payments institution license there, allowing us to carry out all the activities that we are currently doing. And also at the same time, Airwallex is a company we have been around for almost 10 years now. People know about us. We are working with all these other bigger corporates, McLaren that we mentioned, Brex, Casetify, and JD.com. So these are all our partners and customers. And to top it off, we also have a very reputable lineup of investors, global investors, including the likes of MasterCard, even banks as well, like ANC Bank, Tencent, and also like Salesforce and venture capital firms as well.
Yeah, you are really well funded actually. You remember like above $1 billion USD funding, right? Yeah,
so we are now in our Series E2, valued at around $5.5 billion US dollars.
Okay, yeah. So it's just to be clear, also like sometimes also people will compare Airwallex with other MSOs in Hong Kong or regionally. I mean, most of them are not in the same league. Yeah, you have to understand that Airwallex is quite big compared to the more local MSO. I'm not going to give any names, but yeah, it's something to know as well. Yeah. Okay, I think that was a interesting discussion. I hope you guys liked it. If you do, please put some comments, put a like, share the video, show us some love so that I can get Marcus back maybe in a few months to talk about the new products of Airwallex. For example, interested by the yield things, which we cannot talk too much about at the moment.
I'll be able to share more information with you.
Okay, that would be great. And then the other one is maybe the credit card. So so please, if you're interested, show us that you are, tell us, and then I will try to get Marcus back in a few months. So thanks for watching. Thanks, Marcus, for coming, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Laurent. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.